the beauty of mathematics through its application to how the immune system interacts to tuberculosis. The outline for the presentation is we look at the background to the research, the main organs of the human body, the general interaction of what happens when a pathogen invades the human body. Then we now specifically come down to how the immune system interacts with the MTB. Then we link it to the mathematical framework, develop the mathematical findings, and then look at some references. When we look at this image, it shows us how the human body is. And we always know that the human body is an organized structure from the head to toe. And running through the human body are what? Cells and organs. But aside these cells and organs, we also have viruses and bacteria getting their way into what? Into the human body. But the immune system helps the body to fight these viruses or bacteria. And they do that through these main 4 organs. And they use the lymph nodes, the thymus, the spleen, and the long bones. What the lymph node does is produce the T cells, which we all know. And then the thymus provide a home for these T cells. The long bones is what is responsible for generating blood in our human body. And when it does so, the spleen filters the blood so that the body will get the appropriate blood to function. Now, when a virus or a bacteria invades the human body, as you can see with the yellow image, the first line of action it meets is what we call macrophages. What the macrophages does is it engulfs this virus or bacteria and displays its viral antigen, like the image as a ball. I actually needed a pointer, but sorry for that. As a ball, and when it does that, it signals the T cells so that they come into play to fight this virus in the body. When the T cells come in, they divide into 2, known as the B cells and the killer cell. What the killer cell does is it's supposed to come in to kill the infected macrophages, but before it does so, it needs a signal from the B cell. So the B cell produces what we call the plasma cell to produce an antibody to attach itself to the infected macrophages before the killer cell now destroys the infected macrophages, and the body will now come back to what? Normality. Now when it gets to that of the immune system, the same thing happens. And this time let's watch a short video as to how it's being done. Tuberculosis is a really dangerous disease, and as we all know, it is spreading very fast. So when you look at the world population, about 1/3 of the entire population is suffering from tuberculosis. And the virus or the bacteria that causes it is the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So if 1/3 of the world population is suffering from tuberculosis, it means the rest of the 2/3 are what? At risk of what? Being infected. Hence, now just as we realize from the general interaction, when an individual having the bacterial cause, then it means that anyone closer to that person is what? Is at risk, because the individual spreads the virus into the air, and an uninfected person inhales it, and the place in which they love to settle is the lungs of the human body. So when they do so, the immune system now calls in the macrophages whenever they are swimming. So that's the macrophages coming in to engulf what? The bacteria. When they do so, they place that individual in what we call the latent state. That means the macrophages have been able to hold them up, and that individual will not be able to spread it. But the nature of the bacteria is such that they reproduce very quickly, and they put pressure on the macrophages. So the more and more they increase, then that individual is moving from the latent state to the active state. So when that individual is now at the active state, the individual begins to cough very heavy and still have some kind of fatigue. And when that individual coughs, you can see at least blood and stuff in it. So that's the switch. Now the bacteria is all over the body of that individual. The individual begins to find it difficult to do what? To breathe. And the reactivation is as a result. If someone who smokes or drinks or tries to have HIV virus, the switch is very fast. So when that individual happens to be in that mood, that individual is in the active state, and when he coughs, we are all at risk. For the sake of time, let's just try and switch it. And the good news is there are virus drugs attached to it and when you go, you'll be placed on it for 6 months. But we mathematicians are saying it is too long to have tuberculosis and be placed on a drug for 6 months. So how can we help? And to do so, then it means that we have to try and create a model that will help. So we generate this beautiful mathematical model that incorporates the human immune system, the bacteria, and the macrophages itself. So these are our T cells that is being produced by the human body mathematically. So it differentiates, as we saw earlier, into the B cell and then the T cell. And the T cell also produce what we call cytokines. Sorry for those words. The cytokines are the interferon gamma, interleukin 2, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. When they are produced, it means when the bacteria gets interacted with the uninfected macrophages and becomes infected, then they signal this T cell to come in to help the human body. This interferon gamma comes in to activate, and we realize that through mathematics, after performing the calculations, that the interferon gamma plays a bigger role. So our concentration should be on what? On that one. So these are the differential equations from that model. Forget about it, it's scary. So we have something called the basic production number, and it tells us how one infected macrophages affects the other one in the immune system. And so we realize that when we are able to cut the interaction rate between one infected macrophages and the other, then it can help keep that individual in a latent state for a very long time. So those who do epidemiology, we know that the square root is because we need 2 populations. So let's just learn something new here. We need 2 populations before the tuberculosis virus can spread. And this is a beautiful 3D contour graph that shows how we can eradicate the disease. So when we look at it, this is our interaction parameter mathematically. So when we shift this to 0, then it means we have cut off what? The interaction between the macrophages and that of what? The uninfected one. So this is how beautiful mathematics is. So performing the numerical simulation in this way, using a data from the World Bank, we have this. And then this is the latent state, showing us or trying to give more evidence to what happened when that individual is in the latent state. We observe that even if the number here increases, the rate at which the graph is growing exponentially is steadily, is very slow. Now, the main idea, this is the switching time, what we refer to as the switching time. If it would take 6 months for us to cure just an individual suffering from tuberculosis, then what can we do? We observe that if we can produce a drug that will concentrate on the interferon gamma, represented by omega in our mathematical work, then we observe that when omega is small, that is when the strength is small, then the time it will need, here we were working in days, is 100 days. That's 10 times 10, so 100 days. But if we increase omega to say 0.5, that is if the strength is being increased, then the days to cure that individual begins to what? Begins to reduce to say 70 days. Now if omega is further increased to 0.7, we realize that the days are also what? Being reduced. And when we further increase it to 0.9, realize that it's taking at least 50 days. So if our pharmaceutical companies can then now concentrate on the interferon gamma as we have proven it mathematically and produce a drug that will strengthen it, then definitely we will not spend 6 months trying to cure just one individual suffering from tuberculosis. These are some of the references I use, and thank you very much for listening.
Just a brief introduction of where this whole thing started from. So, I'm a PhD student at University of Glasgow, and in my second year, I took part in, oh yeah, you can have a seat, yeah? I took part in the science staff competition, and I know some of you have already seen the videos, right? Yeah, okay, so I do really abstract research, okay? So the title of my research is quantum homogeneous phases. And my mom is safe. I told my mom, the title of my research is quantum homogeneous phases. She wouldn't understand the A or the B of it, right? So I had to find a way to relate to a lay person about like what I do. So I took all my research using addition, subtraction, and I even did the dance, right? The famous dance. And yeah, it went viral on social media. And the idea is that we bring it to Ghana. Every presenter who presents now, who puts your videos on social media, we want to show people that maths can be presented in a fun and interesting way. Today there are people who are going to do drama, some people are going to dance, and they are going to be fun. And the beauty about Science Slam is that we don't have a panel of judges. The audience are the judges. Okay, so when you came in, those who came in and you got pencils or pens, so as you watch the presentations, please put down notes about the highlights of people's presentations, whose presentation really wowed you. So in the end, you are going to vote per table. You have to negotiate with your table members who you thought was the best. And now prizes, cash prizes. So the first prize now will get 500 Ghana cedis, the second 300 Ghana cedis, and 200 Ghana cedis. So the presenters are going to give their best in order to win this prize. But for all the contestants, we'll have some souvenirs for you, okay? Great. So we have our next presenter, Oluwatoyisi. She's from Nigeria.
Hi everyone. As Vice said, my name is Oluwatoyisi. I'm a master's student at African Institute of Mathematical Sciences in Ghana. And this afternoon I'll be taking you through the topic financial risk management. But I'll be focusing on investment risk. I'll be showing you the basic mathematical concept in measuring the risk allocated to investment. Don't be scared. You're not going to see any equations like the first presentation. I can promise you that. But you're going to listen to a beautiful story, and I'm sure at the end of this presentation you will understand the basic mathematical concept to measuring risk associated to an investment. The important thing about being a student, which can also be very scary at times, is taking an examination. Especially when the questions in the examination are multiple choice questions. Okay, let's assume we want to take a test right now, and the questions are multiple choice questions. And the first question is two options. This means that you have just one right answer and one wrong answer, which means you have equal chance of choosing either the right answer or the wrong answer because you have just two options. But let's assume that the next question, you have 5 options. And we know that only one of those options is correct. So it means that you have just 20% chance of choosing the right answer and 80% chance of choosing the wrong answer, which means that you are likely to choose the wrong answer than you are to choose the right answer. Even our daily activities, we are faced with some situations where we have to make some decisions. And the greater the possible outcome of options you have, the more risky you have to choose the wrong option. I'm sure some of you will be wondering what is the link between what I'm saying and financial management, financial risk management. Okay, let me take you to a city. This is a beautiful city, Mobolowore City. Who can tell me where this city is? Thank you very much. I know some people might be doubting, but don't worry, we are going there. There's this woman, a very rich woman, who has 4 boxes of treasure. And people already saw that she's rich, she's a potential investor. 2 people approached her to invest. The first person, who is a man, said, "Oh, madam, what are you doing with your 4 boxes of treasure lying down and they are wasting like that? Give them to me for a year and I will return back to you 7 additional boxes." And the other lady was like, "Oh, come off it. My offer is better. Give me the same 4 boxes of treasure and I will give you additional 10 after a year." So Juma was like, "Wow, in Mobolowore City, so I can actually invest my 4 boxes of treasure and get this great return." But she did not know the choice to make. And she also realized that if she can get this profit, she can also lose her 4 boxes of treasure. So she said, "The offer is good, thank you for coming to me, but let me get back to you." So what did she do? She remembered that some people have also invested into these 2 portfolios. So she went to ask them, "When you invested, what was your return?" So she asked Mr. A. Mr. A invested into the first offer, whose return is 7. But Mr. A said, "Can see the way it's standing shows that he actually got a gain she was, oh, interesting. But she got thinking, I was promised 7. How come he got 9? So she went further to ask the second person. The second person was not too happy because he was promised 7 but got additional 5. But she was like, it's still not too bad. You are promised 7 and you got 5. The difference is just 2. So she went further to ask for the second offer, which is very catchy. So the first person, Apostle alone will tell you that the offer was really great because additional 17 boxes instead of 10. So she was like, wow, this is too good to be true. But she didn't stop there. She still had to go further to inquire more. So she went to ask Mrs. B. Mrs. B also invested into the second portfolio, and she was very pissed off. Said, those people promised me additional 10 boxes. What nonsense! I got only 3. So the woman was left confused because what she's actually getting from an inquiry is different from what she was actually promised by the investors. So she's confused. Which option should she go for? So she's asking us today, audience, which option should she go for? So you have 10 seconds to think through your answer. We have portfolio A with 7 additional boxes and portfolio B with 10 additional boxes. If you are the rich woman, which will you choose? 10 seconds to make up your mind. Okay, you get back to me. Okay, let me tell you. The important concept about investment is that we don't just focus about the return. We have return and we also have the risk. If the rich woman was only concerned about the return, then she would have gone for the higher return, which is 10 additional boxes. But she also realized that there is a risk associated to this. But how can she measure this risk? That's why she was confused. But I have answers to her question, as a mathematician that I am. The answer is standard deviation. I know some of you know standard deviation, and some people are wondering what is standard deviation. Standard deviation is just a tool in mathematics that we use to measure how scattered data are from their mean. What do I mean by mean? If you have a set of numbers and you take their average, if you want to get how scattered the set of numbers are from the average, you use standard deviation. So how will I help this rich woman to assess her risk? The first return, the average return is 7. But when she went to inquire, she got to know that the actual return is between 5 and 9, which means that the standard deviation is 2. And this makes this investment less risky. But for the second one who has a very catchy return, the average return is 10. But when she went to inquire, she got to know that the rate of return is between 3 and 17. And this makes the standard deviation for this second investment to be 7, which means that the set of data are very scattered from the average mean, which means that if she goes for this investment, it's quite risky. So if she were to ask me for my opinion, I would ask her to choose the less risky investment and invest into it. But even at that, choosing the less risky one doesn't mean there's no risk. There's risk, but I also have advice for her on how to further choose. She can either decide in managing the risk, she can decide to avoid the risk by not investing at all. Maybe she's cool with seeing her 4 boxes of treasure with her every day. She wakes up every day and she sees them and she's happy. Than investing in and she will have high blood pressure, she's not sure what will come out of it. Or she can decide to reduce the risk. How will she reduce it? If she has a friend who also has treasures, boxes of treasure, she can walk up to her. Oh, I have this great offer I want to invest into. Why not let's share it? I will give 2 of my boxes, you give 2 of your boxes. We come together to invest into it. And any gain we get from it, we share. And even if it's a loss, at least I will know that I'm not losing my 4 boxes of treasure at once. Or she can decide to accept. Accepting the risk means that she's ready to take whatsoever outcome of the investment. She can decide to accept it, but in accepting it, she has to prepare herself ahead to whatever outcome it is. So I also went to ask Ford. How many of us know Ford car? So this is Ford. Ford is the manufacturer of Ford car. So I went to ask him, if this woman was to come to you to ask you, what should I invest in? What should I choose? He said, this is my answer. The best we can do is to size up the chances, calculate the risk involved, estimate our ability to deal with them, and then make our plans with confidence. Which means that everybody have different tolerance level of risk. You just have to know how prepared you are for the risk ahead of you, and you go for it. Thank you.
I know there are lots of Ghanaians here, and there's this issue of men's gold going on. When people have invested huge sums of money in so-called investments, and the rate was 20% per month, and for me that was outrageous. But some people were, they really like risks, so they went in for. But from what we've seen, it's either you are risk averse or you really like risks, and you have to weigh which of them you want to go. So the next time you want to invest in the next man's goal, please remember somebody says talk and make the right decisions. Okay, great. So we have our third presenter for this session before we go on a short break. So we have Perpetual, and Perpetual is going to talk to us about differential equations. If you've done some mathematics, you've done some differentiation and integration, and I think for some people that was what scared them from doing math, because it was too scary to see integrating from A to B, differentiate and all that. But Perpetual is going to break it down to a very low level for you to understand. So let's give it up for Perpetual.
I'm Perpetual from Ghana, and I'll be presenting on application of differential equation. And I'll start with how models are created, and there is irrespective differential equation we get from this model. So we first ask ourselves, what do we see over here? How can we relate what we see over here to mathematics? Or we can see small stones, and someone will say, how is small stone relating to mathematics? This small stones is called calculus in Latin. It was originated from the Latin word. So the Latin people call these small stones calculus. That basically is like understanding something into smaller pieces. So we have our next activity over here. Someone is chopping onion. He's busy chopping the onion. So we ask ourselves, can this activity be related to mathematics? Yes or no? Okay, I'll tell you whether this activity is mathematics. We first of all talk about differential equation. This activity over here is differential calculus. It's like understanding something into smaller pieces. So this man is having an onion, and this onion is dividing it into smaller pieces. So whenever you have something and you divide it into smaller pieces, then that activity you are doing is differential calculus. So we can never talk of differential calculus without talking of integral calculus. Then the integral calculus is the reverse of the differential calculus, which joins smaller pieces together. So as I said, joining means we are adding one or two things together. As we gathered over here, we have students from Ames, students from Legon, a representative from Glasgow. So we are having family reunion, and this is called integral calculus. So that's what we are doing. So I then move on to the description of differential equation. Differential equation is an equation involving a function and its derivative. And whenever we say a function and its derivative, then we are trying to say that you are having an object and you see the way the object changes as time goes on. So we have this human development. When a child is born, the child moves from baby to an adolescent to adulthood, and then to an early age, and from early age you know that you will die. And this activity is called differential equation because there is some changes from one state to other. And with this activity you can have a curve from the childhood to death. So this activity is called differential equation. So I have a small exercise over here from question 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which of these is a differential equation? Whenever you are given problems like this, just relax, as this man is always relaxing over it. Then think through the problem. For question 1 and 2, the answer is wrong. Why is this wrong? For the first one, you don't have the equality sign, so it's not an equation. For the second one, you have the equality, but you don't have the derivative, so it's not a differential equation. What of the 3 and 4? The answer is correct because we have the equality sign, then the derivative function over there. So we move to the order of differential equation, and the order of differential equation is respect to the highest order of the derivative. So from this example, what is the order of the order of this group? And the order of this group is the group with the A group, which is the order of the group. So we have a lot of application of differential equation, being it physics, engineering, chemistry, economics, and physics. And one of my brother will come and talk on the application of differential equation in physics because there will be some changes from one stage to the other. Then I will talk on my field of interest, which is the application of mathematics in the field of biology. So I will talk on how models are formed and then its respective differential equation. So I have a story on how these models are formed. This man over here is sick, and this lady is a lady mathematician, and she likes to form models and explain how disease spread. So this man was amazed. How can we use mathematics to explain how disease spread, how we can form models? So the lady is trying to tell the man that you be there, I will surprise you. So basically when mathematicians are talking of models, it's like having subgroups from a group. So from our first group, we have the healthy individual, which is all of us. We are healthy, but we can get sick. And the second group is those who are infected. And the third group is those who have been immune from the sickness. So this is basically the models. Whenever you hear models, that is models. But this is not the only models that we have. So this is the models that we have. So whenever we are, all of us are over here, we can get sick and move from one state to other. So whenever there is a movement from one state to other, then that model becomes a negative. So that's how come we had this differential, the first one being a negative, because there have been some people who have been infected, and those people have moved from that state to an infected state, and that one becomes addition for the infected state. So that's how come we came out with a differential equation. So this is a graphical representation of our model. We have the healthy individual, the sick, and the immune. And whenever we are having this normal distribution there, then it means that there is an increase in infection, which is that there is an increase in the spread of disease. And mathematics advise stakeholders involved of those who stakeholders to bring control measures. So I'll end by this quote by Alan Turing, which said that science is a differential equation, but religion is a boundary condition. Thank you.
Set the pace by talking about using mathematics to model TV. He showed us some scary equations. Promising she was saying that she would put these in a very low level. Then Thomason came and she advised us about our investment decisions and how we make them based on whether we like risk or not. Then Perpetual comes in with her onion example. So I know most of us cook onion a lot. So anytime you go to the kitchen or you see someone chopping onions, don't be scared. It's all about what. So we are going to go on a 5 minutes break. If people want to stretch their legs, and the washrooms are just this way. 5 minutes break. We come back here and start at 12:55. We are really behind time, so let's do this quickly. Then we have our next few presenters, okay? So let's go on a 5 minutes break. Come back. So our next presenter, he is going to talk about using probability to predict football. Woo! And if you're
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard Ambia, and I'm here to present on the topic model for predicting can 2019. But before I start my presentation, I would like to do some small games here so that we enjoy ourselves. Esther, please come and join me. Alright, so as I said, I'm here to present on building a model that will be used to predict the winner for the African Cup of Nations, which is just the coming of this June. And so, the stadiums are completely constructed. The fans are ready. The teams are ready to perform. And the players are ready to give out their best. But the question is, which team is going to raise the trophy? And I am talking about the CAN 2019 trophy. Who can tell me the winner? Who can predict?
Ghana.
Alright, so here are my sample. Somebody is going to ask me how I got this sample. These samples are the first two from each group in the qualifying games. And I chose this with the probability that all things being equal, they are coming for the CAN 2019 championship. And so, as you guys were saying, some were saying Ghana, some were saying Cameroon, others were saying Liberia, others were saying Ivory Coast. But we are yet to see. And so my model will pass through 3 phases. And the motivation for my model is this phenomenon that we usually say that the survivor of what? Of the fittest. So the fittest is going to win the CAN 2019 trophy. And so the first phase is I am going to sample through the data and see which team is going to win the 2019 championship, given that that team has already won the championship before. There is a saying in there is an old English saying that goes that and so this same principle works in mathematics, and it works in the conditional probability mathematics, where it says that if you are having a 0 probability, then it means that you are out of the game. Good. Now, I'll go to the second phase where I will sample through my data. And here is the case. When we were in the primary school, we were asked to find the average of our mass. And if your mass is below the average, they usually give a term. Who can tell me? You fail. And so therefore, I'm going to sample. If you are having below the average, then you are going to be kicked off the model. And my third phase will be predicting the winner based on the principle of consistency, and it will be explained deeply. As you all know, we all know this thing, you do and then the snake and then the ladder. And this diagram talks about consistency. It talks about trends. It talks about patterns. And in mathematics, we do respect patterns and trends very well because it helps us in taking decisions in life and in real life situations. And so, someone will be asking, what are you still talking about, patterns and so on? Now, let me bring back to our Christian life. Mommy, I hope you've heard this thing called family curses. Yes, you see, it goes on. That is the trend that we are talking about. We use these trends in making decisions for the future. And so in mathematics, we do acknowledge this fact. And so with the first phase that I said that we are going to sample through my data, that is the things that were earlier presented. And we are going to sample it based on the teams who have been able to win the trophy before. If you have not won it, then you are out. Because what do you have for me? Now, if somebody enters this room and he asks, I want the probability of choosing a chimpanzee. Who is a chimpanzee here? And so therefore, 0 probability means that you are out. This same principle works in the mathematical model. And so if you are having a 0 trophy, you are out of the trophy game. And so, after going through this phase, this way the teams left. You can take one guessing. So we go on to the second phase. As I said, the highest number of trophies won are 7. And I want to find the average so that I will see those who are failing to accept the model and then those who are willing to go by my model. And when I took the average, I had 3.5. And you know that we can't have a 3.5 trophies. And so I rounded it. Since in mathematics, this rule permits me to round the number, I just round it to 4. And so I came by this decision that if you are having a trophy 4 or above, then you are ready to go with me. But if you are having 3 or less, then you are out of the game. And when I went through this phase, these teams were left. The principle being that it has gone beyond the average number of trophies won. And so therefore it doesn't have the strength to win the African Cup of Nations. No Nigeria. Good. Here, I will urge each one of you to write your prediction down. Now, there is a man called Komogoro. And I'm talking about Andrew Komogoro. We are having many different types of Komogoro, but now I'm talking about Andrew Komogoro. And I'm here to just give you the idea about the story. I'm not going to write anything funny here. And so he said that the probability of A equals B equals 1. This is how I will interpret it to you. The probability that a team has 4 or more trophies means that this year is going to win the trophy. And he is having a probability of 1 almost surely. That means that that team is going to win the trophy this year. And he also said that this is going to work. This probability is only going to work if there is consistency in A, if there is only trend in A, if there is a pattern in A. And so if there is a decreasing pattern, we will take you out. And if you are having an increasing pattern, then we will accept you. And in my model, I gave these parameters. I said that X is for Cameroon, Y for Egypt, and Z for Ghana. Okay, a championship has been organized 31 times. And so I took the pain off to just cut off half of it. Because I just want to take the current information. As Daniel Komongoro said, that we should take the current information in taking decisions. And so therefore, I took the current information. I took an average of the tournament being hosted, and then I used the latter part, the 16 latter part, to take my decision. And here, somebody is going to ask me how I got this 220070600. No, I didn't do this by guess. This is pure statistics here. Now, in the year 1988, between 1988 and then 1990, the highest goal scored by Cameroon was 2. I mean, the goal king was 2. The goal king were 2. it means that the highest number of goals to be scored by a player was 2, and it came from Cameroon and then Egypt. Ghana was out there. Now, I use this principle because I was finding it difficult to get the goals scored by the whole team. The statistics was not available. And so therefore, I used a principle called the convenience sampling, which tells you to use the data available, which relates to what you are finding. And so therefore, I use this principle that, okay, if I can't get the goal scored by the team, then I can use the goal king. I can use the goal king to depict the strength of a team. Good. And so here, I use the goal king in determining the consistency of the team. And these were the trophies won. And at the end of my manipulations, Cameroon had 1/3. It means that the consistency of Cameroon was 1/3. The consistency of Egypt was 1/7, and that of Ghana was 0. I went on to the second phase because I was having 2 matrices. And so, with the second one, Cameroon had 1/9, Egypt had 13/45, and then Ghana had 1/3. Let's look at something here. We are talking about trend. We are talking about pattern. In the former one, Cameroon had 1/3, but when it went on, it decreased to 1.9. What can you learn from this? It means that the performance of Cameroon is going down. When you look at Egypt, it was having 1/7. But when you come to the current information, it was having 13/45, which means that the consistency of Egypt is decreasing. But with the former one, Ghana was having a consistency of 0, but it increased to 1/3. And based on what Komungoro was saying, that if the consistency is increasing, then we should choose that one in accepting the model. And so therefore, at the end, I saw that Cameroon is decreasing, so they are out. Egypt is decreasing, so they are out. Hello. Now, the motivation for this presentation is not the team who won, but I am here to motivate you to apply the principles in mathematics in taking decisions, and it is going to help your life. Mathematics is not just 1+2, but mathematics is a subject that will help you in making decisions in life. Thank you.
From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and to make you know that anytime you use maybe alarm clock, there's some maths. Anytime you go to the salon, there's some maths. So let's give it up for Sister.
Everyone, I'm Cecilia Friye, and I'm presenting on the topic My Everyday Man. Math is involved in every single activities we do during the day, so I'm going to go through some of them with us, so stay with me. Okay. I happened to meet these students a few days ago. They were quite confused. They were asking themselves several questions. One said, math has no use. We keep on finding X every day. Hey! So I approached them, then I introduced myself to them. You know what I said? I said, I'm coming from Ames, Ghana, African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. And so I'm a mathematician, and so I can help you find X and probably explain several other aspects to you. And so they calmed down, then I was able to take this photograph. Yes. Yes. By the time we go to bed, we keep on asking ourselves, what time at all do I want to wake up? Eh? What time do I want to be on schedule so that my boss doesn't query me, or probably I don't miss class, or maybe breakfast? The students can relate. And so we decide to set alarms. Now, your ability to be able to set this alarm, you are using math. How? We project into the time we want to wake up, right? Yes. And before that, we will check the time we are sleeping. And so we use basic arithmetic in finding this time. And now, for the alarm clock to be able to ring right on time, it also uses math. That is, it uses online simulations, which are modeled by mathematical processes. Let me ask this question. Someone might be wondering what I'm about saying next, right?
Yeah.
Before we all came here, we decided on which outfit to wear, right? Yes. Now, someone made these outfits. We call them fashion designers or seamstress. Or tailor. Now, do we know that these people use math in their daily activities? How? Now, we know that the fashion designer also will use the basic arithmetics, but also we can see that before they can draw patterns, they need geometry. Yes. Their work deals with patterns into shapes and several other things. Somebody will come and say, this is my equator. Now, I want the founder said to be here. How do they do that? They use math, and that is geometry.
Thank you.
Let me ask. We all came here by a vehicle, right? Yes. A car. We know that the car also uses math. Wow. Oh. Really? So I didn't know. Wow. As we can see, a car, so complicated. It comprises of several other smaller parts. And now these parts are fused together in one way or the other. And for the sizes to be measured such that they will fit well, it uses maths in order to get them into use so that it doesn't cause any trouble or maybe an accident. Hey, I didn't ask this first. Now we are all relaxed on something. What is that? Yes, a chair. Very good. And you could see that there are carpenters who are involved in doing this, right? Yes. Now, these carpenters also use this math. True or false? True. Yes. Oh, somebody said false. Okay, let's go through it. Very good. When it comes to the cutting of wood into several other shapes, and even arranging them such that they will fit the right job, it also uses math. Now, carpenters involve those basic or maybe simple arithmetic math, such as the addition in their work. They deal with subtraction, division, or even multiplication. Also, according to mycarpentry.com, I went there to check. They said that they use the Pythagorean theorem when it comes to the squaring and even the calculation of the area of whatever thing they want to do. Let me ask, what do you think I'm going to say next? What do you think I'm going to say next? Okay. As you are being seated and so relaxed, you may be tempted to pull out your phones. True or false? My sister here is already using it. And do we know that their phone also uses math? Oh. Wow. Okay, let's go through it. Now, there's a trick. See, anytime in the olden days, not really in the olden days, few years ago, we thought that when you are at Amasaman and you call somebody at Kokwase, you think maybe there is a pole in your house linking a wire to the other person's house. But we realize that it's never true. Come to think of it, if I'm in Ghana and I want to call someone in Japan, so are we saying that there is a pole in my house linking a wire to someone's house in Japan? No! It uses math. Now, when it comes to phone calls or making a call, it deals with waves. Now, these waves are rather being put into subwaves and then into signals, and that uses Fourier transform. Please, can we all repeat after me? Fourier transform. Now, we use this Fourier transform to convert the subwaves into signals. Are we happy about math? Yes, I can see that. Now, right from here, most of us will be dropping maybe at a supermarket, or probably most of the ladies here will be going to the market. True or false? True. And do we know that the market women, or maybe the business women, they also use this math. They use math in their daily activities. Let's go through them. Every activity in business can be grouped into subgroups, or maybe can be grouped, and that is set theory. What is set? A set is a collection of objects. And a collection of objects. Well defined. Thank you. And these market women, they deal with the accounting aspects all by themselves. The accounting aspects all by themselves, the operational aspects, and even when it comes to them getting profit, they also do those things by themselves. Now, this is Auntie Akwele at Agobloshi Market. I met her last week and I started to speak to her. I started speaking to her about math, and she thinks she has retired from mathematics, not knowing she uses mathematics every day. But she didn't know how Auntie Akwele has to project her business in such that she will be able to get enough profit and also invest into her business. And her ability to do that, she is using the simple arithmetic. She deals with tomatoes, so she sells tomatoes, and so she has to add up, or maybe some of the products subtract in order to get her profits. No, I have to ask, please, what do you think I'm going to say next? Anybody to try? What? Makeup. Somebody said makeup. Hey, wow. I think I have to give a present to that person because it's almost in line with what I'm about saying. Do you know, ladies, today is Saturday, right? Yeah. Tomorrow is Sunday. Most of us will be going to church. And most ladies want to look good in church. And so we decide to fix our hair. Right? Yes. And so we are going to see what the hairstylist does. In our local term, we put it hairdresser. Yes, the hairdresser also does something with math. What do they do? Somebody might say that if you are not smart enough, that is when you go in for hairdressing. It's never true. Most people are very smart. They use integration and differentiation every day. Hey, you are making surprised. Their work involves a lot, and they are able to deal with them everything. It's not easy to come up with this. Is it easy? No. That's what they do. You see that's integration and difference. As my sister said, we are cutting them into smaller pieces. Okay. I guess you might be wondering what I'm about to say next. I want another person to try it. Okay. Anytime we go to church, there are active people in church such that they, I don't know how to put it, they are the most mathematics users in church. That's the choir conductors. It's not easy to just raise up your hand and a particular group will sing. To do this and they will all stop. We are using mathematics. Who can help us with the type of math they've been using? We are almost through. Yes. My friend here is saying trigonometry. Yes. Logic. Very good. True or false logic. Any other? What? Probably. One after the other. Okay, my friend here is also saying is it physics? Directional derivatives. Wow. So in all, we can see that math is not only abstract. We use math every day in our various activities. And this is something simple I drafted just to come and show you. Thank you very much.
Setting the alarm clock to go into the hairstylist to fix your hair. So I think I have a presentation on Great. So our next presenter for this session is Gary. He's from Nigeria. He's going to talk about the maiden markup model.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will not take that. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's a great privilege to share my research passion with you guys. Over the years, I've been on this now so much in love with hidden markup model. My name is Dario Silaja, a student from African Institute for Mathematical Science, AIMS, Ghana, and I will be talking on using hidden markup model for prediction. While I was just seated here, before I actually go into the slide, an idea popped up in my head. And I looked at it that most people, when they come out for presentation or a particular talk, they do some funny things on stage. Some of them will be breathing, their breathing space becomes more higher because some of them will go like this and you'll be wondering, hey man, give us what you have for us. But you see them doing some different things. I want to tell us that what we are seeing they are doing, that's what we call the observe, what we can see. What is the cause of this? This could be as a result of stage fright, being nervous, and when we talk about hidden markup model, that is what it is hidden, we can't see. But what we observe, the moving to and fro, and probably somebody wants to say Mr. John, because of the tension, he's saying Mrs. John. These are things that you can observe. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to take us through the hidden markup model. When we talk about hidden markup model, there are two basic things we need to know, two basic concepts. We want to talk about the hidden. Mr. Simpson, you can see him going into the hiding there. I want to talk about the observe. And you see this man there, probably maybe something is about to happen. You can see how he's struggling to enter into the flowers. So this is something we may not be able to have access to. That is hidden. But we know he is there. You see, eventually he's going in. You can see his nose. Eventually he's going. You can't see him again. But in hidden markup model, this is the man we want to predict. Oh, you shouldn't see this now. Okay. Okay. This is the man we want to predict, but we don't have access to the man. But his own son, this is Mr. Simpson's son, and that is what we can observe. We just act like an undercover cop, and when we pursue this man, maybe approaching to the house, daddy, 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 he just say a voice. Yes, who is that? I said, that's the name is Simpson. So we've used the observe to be able to predict that man you see going backward. You know, it is quite funny when you see some people trying to hide. You can see him driving reversing very smoothly and we're just going into the flag. So basically, hidden and observe. We want to predict the hidden, but we don't have access to the hidden. We only have access to the observe. So because of that, we look at the observe and the observe will take us to the hidden. Now, I want to bring it home. This is a typical example. I want to know the climate condition of this particular area. Is either it's raining or it is sunny. But because this was in the past, I have to make inquiry to what happened in the past for me to know what will happen in the future. Lo and behold, I have a lady, whenever it is raining, the clothes she puts it on a diary. Today I'm putting on this because it is sunny. Today I'm putting on this because it is raining. And this is what I have access to. I don't have access to this. So I want to use this to make inquiry what had happened before, and this will help me to decide what will happen in the future. Hidden Markov model is quite easy when we do it this way, without the mathematical aspect. Now, we have this. If she puts on this, can anyone tell me what is the weather condition, rainy or sunny? Sunny. You are there. Good. And now what do we have? Rain. We are not saying it to. Rain. Yeah, what do we have? Sun. Sunny. And now we have what? Rain. And we have what? Rain. Now, this is just like a mirror with a sensory organ behind it, taking cognizance of this trend. And you and I can see vividly that it is likely to rain more than the sun shines. Are we together? Yes. Because you have, this is for what? Rain. And this is for what? Rain. And this is for what? 3:2. So you can see that it's likely to rain in the future. What you just done now is what we call hidden Markov model. Can you clap for yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, we go further. I'm going to do something funny. This is funny because I don't know how to dance, but I have to do it to make you see the real thing. I'm going to play two musics. One from my hometown. I'm from Yoruba in Nigeria. You see how I move the body. Then I'm going to play the other one, the foreign music. You see how I do my hip hop. You know? So what we are doing there is that you are observing when it was my language, my mother's tongue music, you discover how I move. When it was in hip hop, you discover how I move. And thereafter, I'm going to stop the music, then you will not hear anything. I'll be dancing, then you'll be able to tell. Am I dancing to my mother's language or to the hip hop? And that is what you are observing, trying to predict what is hidden, which is the music. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not looking at this place, or probably you need a spectacle to see better from the front, I want you to put it on now. You're about to watch an exciting move. it was my travel language, you see how we do it, I go down, that's what we call Kumole. And now when it was the hip hop, you see how I was just throwing my hands. Now what I will do next, you will not be able to have access to the music again. All you do is to observe. And I have a prize for somebody here. That you will be able to predict which dance I'm going to dance more. Am I the hip hop guy? Or so I'm going to put this now in my ear and you observe. All you need to do is to observe. See what I'm dancing, if it is hip hop or my travel. Are we ready?
Yes.
You are not sounding as if you are ready.
We are ready.
Good. Watch out. What was that? He said what? Please clap for yourselves. Now I'm listening again. I'm going to play another song. What is that? Hip hop. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I dancing hip hop? Dance another one again. Ladies and gentlemen, what was that?
Hip hop.
Now, this is the question. You want to act like even Markov model now. What would be the likely dance that I will dance in the future? If you know it, please raise up your hand. I have a prize for you. My wife. Please clap for her. Now, how did she know it was hip hop? For 3 consecutive times, I danced hip hop. She knows that in the future, this man is not a local man. He is going to dance hip hop. Please don't clap for her. And here I have a gift for her. Let's quickly go before the time. Now, I want to bring it to your mobile phones. You know, initially when you purchase a mobile phone, or probably you send a mail, there's something they call prediction. You see, initially when you type BA, it will bring out suggestion like bands, band, but the phone discovered that when you type BA, you type NKU, meaning bamboo. You type BA the second time, instead of taking band, you type NKU. The next time you type BA, the phone will suggest to you, do you mean bamboo? And you press it. That is the whole concept of eating. It has a past before, and now it's predicting what you will likely do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a great passion because they say charity begins at home. For the past 3 years, I've been on this project. I'm trying to predict the political crisis in Nigeria. It is in my heart to see that things change for better. And this had only been done by the man called Schroed in 1989, where he was able to forecast in Pakistan about what will happen in the nearest future. I also want to do that for my country before I leave this world eventually. Thank you for listening.
So we are really behind time, so there will not be any break. So we will just do a small shake up. We are going to do the Zaza dance that I also presented during my science dance presentation. So can you all get out of our chairs and close them? We are going to right. Please don't talking. Okay, then we are going to talk 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2. And they are going to shopping for the final round. Okay? Are you guys know how to shopping? So we have our final 3 presentations. and an actress. They are going to do a drama to talk about the maths that they have prepared for us, okay? So it's Salome and Erika. Let's give it Salome.
This is too difficult.
There's no possible no. Can never be solved. Yeah. Again. My sister will get married. It's sad. You can't solve this. I'm feeling sleepy. Time is going to. I need to solve this problem. Let me gauge it. Maybe I can find the answer. Oh, there's no way. Right now, I don't know what this will do. And I'm very sad. Very, very sad. It's a challenge. My head is even aching.
Sally! How are you?
Good afternoon. How good afternoon.
I didn't see you in the reading room today.
How can I be in the reading room today?
I know you are always in the reading room, so not seeing you in the reading room today, I know there is something going on. Your face is not looking
I'm
nice.
not fine at all.
Why?
Today is my sister's birthday.
Hey! I don't even know. Hey, Reggie. I don't joke with Reggie. Yes, let's go for the wedding. Let me drop my bag again.
My brother, you like food. The thing is, although today is my sister's birthday, but I'm faced with a big problem.
Problem?
The problem is that I am supposed to bring exactly 6 liters of wine to the wedding.
But we have wine here. Let's carry this one and go.
Please drop it down.
I'm sorry.
You need to study means. The thing is, in my whole house, okay, I just have an 11-liter pot, okay, 11, and a 7-liter pot. So if my in-laws are now asking me to bring exactly 6 liters, where will I get these 6 liters from? This pot is unmarked, so there's no way I can measure exactly 6 liters from these 2 pots. So I've given up. This problem cannot be solved.
That's what I don't want to hear. There's no problem in this one that cannot be modeled into mathematical equation. The problem you just narrated. A man called Dovandas of Alexander was also faced with this problem in AD 201.
Wait! AD 201?
Yes!
Long ago. Are you sure that I can use that theory to solve a 21st century problem, my brother?
Mathematics is always relevant in all generations. Our lemma doesn't change. Our theorem is still the same theorem. As I'm narrating your problem, I have solution to your problem.
Wow.
So without wasting time, because I deal with prime numbers, and 11 and 7, I know they are prime. Okay, you said this is 7 liters.
Yeah, this is 7 liters.
Okay, so can you fill that 7 liter pot?
Okay, it's filled.
So you can pour it here.
Alright.
Good. Fill the 7 liters again.
Again?
Yes.
Okay. It's full, though.
Yes. Pour it here. Until it is full.
Okay, it's full now.
Okay, so you can drop this.
Okay.
Then empty this 11 liters.
So, I hope you're not joking with me.
You don't listen to me when I'm talking. I'm a mathematician.
Fine. So I'm going to pour this away. Okay. So right now there's nothing in this pot.
So if I may ask you, how many liters are you left with there?
I have 3 liters in this pot.
Good. Pour that 3 liters here.
Yeah.
Yes. Fill the 7 liters again.
So I trust you.
Yes.
I don't wait
Pour
for
it here until it is full.
Okay.
Good.
So this is empty.
Yes. You said you use all the arithmetic you know.
All the
So I I already knew that you know addition,
Yes.
you know subtraction, and you know division. How many liters do you have here?
Okay, I have 10 liters of wine.
Interesting. Put it down. Fill these 7 liters. What is here with it is full. Good. You can drop that. Then empty this. So if I may ask you now, how many liters are you left with them?
Wait. Initially, I had 10 here. And this is a 7-liter pot. So if I pour this here for it to be full, then I have 6 liters left in this pot.
Stop the way. I've been telling you, don't sleep in professor's class again. You like sleeping in mathematics class. Mathematics is the bedrock of humanism, and it is the key to national transformation. Do you now see that you can use mathematics in any field?
Exactly.
Yes. Let's go for
The problem has been solved. Now, mathematics is a bedrock of all sciences. Remember in school, the teacher asked you to bring counters to class. And we those who never brought counters to class, we use our fingers in counting. So count along. 1, 2, 3, 4. So do you know what your teachers were teaching you? They were teaching you the set of integers. Now listen to this. There's an interesting aspect of mathematics called number theory. Number theorists are mathematicians who study the properties of integers. There is this mysterious subset of integers called prime numbers. These numbers have no pattern, so it's very difficult to predict the next prime number. An example of a prime number is 2 because we are 2. Can you give me some examples of prime numbers? 3 else? No, 4 is not a prime number. 5. So a prime number is any number greater than 1 which has exactly 2 factors, 1 and itself. Now, Show and I are mathematicians from Ames, Ghana, and we love number theory. We study the lemma, theorems, and propositions of numbers. So, with our knowledge, we have designed a game for you. Now, look on your tables. You have this card on your table. Some people have white cards, others have white and yellow cards. So, this is a game called the X prime game. And on your card, you have a list of prime numbers. They have 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. What I want you to do is to arrange these prime numbers along each diagonal of the X, so that when you sum up these numbers, you are going to get an even number. An even number is any number which could be divisible by 2. An example is 2, 4, 6, 8. So I give you 30 seconds to finish this game.
Hey brother, relax. It's not jam. Sit down. See the way he's sweating. Only simple mathematics. Okay, going, done. Yes, we have answer from the house. Yeah. Anybody? I need somebody that's good. Yeah. Can I have you? Final answer. Why? Okay. Okay, that's very good. As I said earlier, that we study number. I know that if I had 2 odd numbers together, I will get an even number. The only thing I need is to fix 2 at the center here. Any other combination, whether I put 5 here, or I put 7 here, or I put 11 here, 11 here, they work.
Okay. Alright, let's clap our hands. That's a great job. Now, let me ask you this question. What is the largest prime number in this universe?
Largest prime number?
Largest prime
The
number.
number was discovered in 2018. I mean December 2018.
Wow.
But let's see. Anybody? The largest prime number? Hey,
a very good question. I've been wondering too. Why are we interested in large prime number? But do we know that large prime number, we use it to secure our computers? Computers hackers, they work with prime numbers. So the largest prime number that we have, that's how secure our computer system will be. Yes, another one, you know, I was on my bed. I was thinking. MTN, they have 224.4 million subscribers in 21 African countries. And have you ever noticed we are using 14 digits for our recharge card? And we never exhaust that 14 digits. Wow, power of numbers. Give me 14 digits number, I will give you 14 raised to power 14 MTN recharge card. Yeah, we call it permutation and combination. Wow. Another thing that we don't know is online shopping. Amazon Junior. Immediately you inserted your ATM like this, there are prime numbers working underground. That's why it is the amount that you press there that they will deduct. That's the power of prime number. Do you know the one I like most? It is called encryption and decryption. Some people call it cryptography. Imagine you didn't have phone and I want to communicate with you. But you have access to your mother's phone. But I wanted to send a message to you that I love you. No, me, I'm just joking. No, I didn't mean it. Oh. But what I will just do is, I will record the message. I will send it to your mother. Your mother will open it. Because she didn't know the code, she can't read anything. Everything will just look like, some numbers. But I will give you the code. When you open it, you see the message. But you also want to reply. I'm not saying you should reply now. Oh, people are here. Oh. So when you also want to reply, you use the same code. You send it to me. When it gets to me, I will also open it and read it. Wow. But make sure you send the message.
Great. So now, my audience, you can see that mathematics or number theory is not just used to solve the dilemma of the wedding field, but it could also be used to solve advanced computer security problems. So you see, mathematics is beyond the lemma, theorems, and propositions.
Mathematics is applicable in our day-to-day life. Enjoy the rest of the life with numbers.
Thank you.
The dilemma of the wedding feast. I think that someone here who is getting married very soon. I think she should consult them to make sure they are not being shortchanged at the wedding ceremony. So we have the final two presentations. Our next presentation is about machine learning. I'm sure most of you have heard about machine learning, right? Yeah, it looks like they're very scary for people, but Eugene is going to break it down to very simple terms. So let's give it up for Eugene as he talks.
Okay, I'm just presenting machine learning. Please, I want to know how many of us have heard of machine learning? Okay, so quite a few of us. And I think my mom there has not heard of machine learning. but today, my presentation is quite, the child can understand what machine learning is, what it entails, everything about it. So, first thing, what is machine learning? Okay, so you all know that as human beings, we learn from experience, right? We all learn from experience. But really now, when we created a robot who does not what? We learn from experience. Something that takes in input and things out of the output. That is garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put in, that's what you get out, right? But now, we want something better, something that's more like, something that learns from experience. So, let's say for instance, if I wake up every day at 4 a.m., my phone should automatically learn from that pattern and wake up at 4 a.m. every time. So that's the essence of machine learning. Okay, so first thing first. Machine learning has three concepts. The first one is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. The first thing is supervised learning. Now I'll take you to your kindergarten. I hope everyone can attend me. Okay, yes, so nice. So I'll teach you the simple thing. So when I point, you show me. So what's this? What letter is this? A. Nice. A for apple. B for ball. C for cat. Nice. What is this? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now give me the shape. What's the shape? Triangle, square, circle. Now give me these colors. This is orange. Hey, you must be orange. Okay, so let me teach you.
this is yellow, because maybe color accuracy and all this. So this is yellow, this is red, this is blue, and this is violet. I'm teaching aloud. This is yellow, this is red, this is blue, this is violet. Okay, so now you see, I taught you these things. Let's say, for instance, let's say this is the first time I'm seeing this. That I've taught you right now. So now, let's test how well you understand it. So now I'll give you this first exercise. So what shape is this? Square. It's a square. If I didn't teach you what a square is, how a square looks, how looks a square? You see, I taught you, so I'm supervising you to learn. So I don't know what a square is. Now what is this? What letter is this? What do you didn't know C? I taught you C, so now you got this C, right? Now what color is this? This color? Red. Wow, that's right. Yes, I'm very smart. Okay, so entirely supervised learning entails in this. Whatever you give to the computer, right? That's what, and you question it, that's what it gives you out of the data that you give it. So whatever you give it in the data, that's what it gives out of the output. So basically, and who has ever babysit a baby before? Babysit a baby. I don't know, maybe you quite mad. I remember when I was with my little sister, right? My dad and mom would leave me in the house to do my little sister. And whenever I try to give her something that she doesn't like, she says no, she will eat it. Like whenever I force she will eat it. But when I give her food, sweet things, she take it. So I was wondering, how did this baby know about what's sweet, what's this, what's that? So you see, in her mind, she has categorized everything into what's sweet, sour, bitter. And when you give her anything in this category, you say, no, I don't like it. When you give anything in this category, you like it. That's how supervised learning is. Maybe the computer doesn't know anything about the data you're giving it. But because of patterns in the data or structures in the data, can say, okay, this is this and this is that. So for instance, let's take an employee data. We have salaries, right? Every employee has different types of salary that they give to them. So the computer can categorize them into what high-paid employees, low-paid employees, and mid-paid employees. So that's the general thing about supervised learning. Now the next learning, that concept about machine learning is what? Reinforcement learning. How many of us have worked to school before? Yeah, I've actually run to school before. So sometimes, I remember the first time I was going to school, like the distance seemed far. When from my journey from my home to the school, it seemed very far. But as days goes by, it was becoming shorter. But I remember one time I was very late for school, so I needed to find a shortcut. Who knows who? I don't know. Yes, I need to find some shortcuts to get to school faster, right? And that's how reinforcement learning is. Reinforcement learning is basically updating whatever you know, so that you make optimal choices in anything that you make in terms of. So this is a base problem. Who likes solving problems? Who likes solving puzzles? And that's solving problems. So there's a simple one. Let's assume you are here, right? And you want that green box, and you want to move here. Now the condition in this problem is that these black boxes are what? Walls. They are walls. And the white spaces are the free space that you want to move through, right? So now how will you move from here to here? Let's do it together. So when I move, so that you to go here, and let's see if it will be the shortest path to reach here. Okay, so now I'm here. Okay, so wherever I direct my hand, you say you can go there. So I'm coming down. Yeah. Should I go straight? No. Should I come back? Yes. Okay, should I go down? Yes. Okay, I'm going left. Oh, are you sure? Yes. Left. I'm trusting you. Wow. Okay, so how many of us think that's the shortest path? Like that's the shortest way to get there. How many of us think that? Shortest way to get there. Okay, so very few answers are up, but most answers are down. Okay, so now let's reiterate back. How do you know that that's the shortest way there? First and foremost, this is a simple metric. So you try almost opposite in your head. Look at the microsecond that you use. Maybe you realize it, but let's retrace back. You try it here, wait here, and say, is this not right, this not right. So let's retrace it to the same computer, how it does that. So first, what does it do? You try almost every possibility, and what you learn from those possibilities. Whatever mistake you make, you learn from it, and you reinforce it. That's the whole idea of reinforcement learning. And when I get to the computer, I don't want to show that algorithm, so because it took some time to run. So when I get to the computer to model the problem and to train a model, it figured out it solved the problem in less than 2 minutes. You solved it in less than 10 seconds. Right? But let's say I give you the whole transportation system of Ghana, the dense path, because this is the whole of apartment. If I give the whole, how are you sure you are able to solve that problem? I'm not sure anyone can solve that particular problem from one point to another point. So that's the entirety about machine learning in pathfinding. Let's say you want to find the shortest path from what? they go on, they're engineering, so engineering science, and let's say you want to go to Akron, what's the shortest path getting there? Everyone will fix their phone and use Google. You go to Google Maps and say, Google Maps is what? Machine basically to direct. And right now they're using something called augmented reality, which one you can stand here and to direct. You have to be like a marker when you go into and through. That's the whole essence of machine learning. Now, when they stop this is the output you gave out. So you see, the same output as ours. So you need that our model was good. Now, what's the future of machine learning? This baffles me because some people are scared that machines will take over us. Everyone say that machines will take over us. But the whole point is, there's so much possibility in machine learning. It's like the suns in the beaches. It's like the stars in the skies. Endless possibilities. The only limit to machine learning is us. It's us human beings. The limit is us. So I think there's unlimited potential for machine learning and what it can do. So I'll give a quote from this neural network guy called Yan Li. He's actually an activist in machine learning and I like what he does. And he said, our intelligence is what makes us human, and AI is an extension of that quality. So I believe that at the end of this day, or at the end of this presentation, I believe that everyone will pursue machine learning in some sort. But everything that everyone is doing, you need machine learning. Maybe you are selling something, how to optimize the machine, to optimize your sales, everything that you do. And at this juncture, I won't say medicine.
Growing up as children, trying to walk, fall, and we try it all over again. Okay, we are having the final presentation, then we'll have our question. I know people left, hope they are always very early today, so people are hungry. I can see from their faces, people are already, they are really want to be here. Okay, so now our final presentation, which is by physics. Physics is going to talk about the physics of solar storms.
Good afternoon. I'm always Alex. I'll be talking about the solar system. Aside corruption, I'm talking about Nigeria. There's only one thing that we share mostly in common. That is that jollof rice is things that we fight about. But aside corruption, when it happens in Nigeria, we say fire. Tell the fire you never. God will kill you. In Ghana, we even have balances for it. I mean, I don't do all this. And we are blessed with this sense of solar cells. We are not making videos. This a place. This Tuesday, I took this shot in Dua. When we came back from watching the Man U match, I took this shot. There was no light. So there was light off. And then I took this. This is Dua now. I can't say anything. But we have this. And this is the sun. And it is scorching. We have found ourselves under the sun. We are not making good use of it. Other developed countries are making good use of this. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of success stuff, but just an overview of what this can do for us. Compare the size of the Earth to the sun. Unfortunately, I'm very tall, so I can't point to where the Earth is. But the size of the Earth to the sun. The Earth is very small compared to the size of the sun. And the sun produces a lot of energy, which will help us or we need for our daily lives. The amount of energy that we need for by the whole world within a year is just 10% of the sun's energy. 10%. So as the sun is shining in a day, when we are going to absorb 10% of it, we can power the whole, all the industries, all the factories for a whole year. There comes my brother who has his TV and stuff. I'm talking about the sun has energy. So that means that I should go and stand in the sun with my cables and connect. What should I connect? We are going to use this in explaining what I will have. Plants are doing this. Plants are converting the sun's energy into a useful energy that they use. So why can't you copy what the plants are doing in obtaining energy for us? Plants do this through this process, photosynthesis. You've heard of this. Everyone here knows photosynthesis. You've heard of this in class first. And with the energy I'm talking about, we heard of energy from our basic schools. In class 3, we always do energy, ability to do work. In basic stage 4, how do you call it grade 4? We heard of the types of energy, like kinetic or potential energy. In basic stage 5, whether it's renewable or not renewable. So our curriculum has not revealed us of the knowledge that we need about energy. In fact, we have been given the energy. Every African knows that apart from the hydro and the thermal source, we have other alternatives on that last. Let's talk about this. So when the sun shines, the plants with chlorophyll convert the sun's energy and then the chemical and then it is. The plant goes with it. In Africa and in Ghana, the sun shines and then you get what? And it goes away just like that. In fact, it radiates back. This is what has been modeled to copy the leaf of the plant in absorbing the sun's energy. It was the equation for this was in 1833, in which Einstein won the book, but I don't want to go about the equations. But in 1893 or 1883 or so, this became very operational, and then we started using solar energy. So in 18th, Ghana had independence in 1957. This has been available for a very long time, but we are still not being taking pictures of it. Other African countries are trying to do well with it. This Rwanda, solar farm in Rwanda. I know that is very happy because it's Rwanda and they have a solar farm. And they are tapping into the sun's energy. And they are using it. There was no doom soil in Rwanda. From Derek, I know there was doom soil in Cameroon. From Kofi, it's in Togo too. Ghana and Nigeria. It's familiar, we are familiar with it. So we go to. Alright, so let's look sheets. Anything that you have to just look, let's write some stuff on it and let's do some small arithmetic. Let's do something small. Let's do something small. Alright, so
You can use your programs.
let's just write at the
Yes,
bottom.
behind it.
You get it, but it's interesting. You can use the game here. Alright, so you just write 45 at the upper left corner of your sheet, 45 at the upper left corner of the sheet. And then you divide your sheet into 3. 45 at the upper left corner, divide your sheet into 3. If you write, don't need to go. So you write 1,000 in the middle. You divide 1,000 by 1,000. You are going to get 1, right? And then you multiply the 1 by 4, you get 4. 4 by 4, you get 16. 16 by 12, you get 16 by 12. Hey, this is not mathematics. 16 by 12, you are getting 132.
Yes, 190.
190. That's what they are telling me.
Yes, 190.
190 by 45. This is not mathematics. If you go to the market women, they will multiply this easily for you. 190 by 45. 4. 192 by 45. 8640. 8640. The 45 that you wrote there is a unit cost of power in Ghana. Power is used for 45 pesos a unit. So we have calculated for using an electric iron for 1 year. Using an electric iron for 1 year. I'm very sure. Electric iron is 100 watts. And we are incurring the cost of. We had 8. What do you have? 8640 pesos. 8640 pesos, meaning it's 86. Ghana cedis, yes. And we know. Let's multiply the man. Let's convert it to Ghana cedis. We are having questions, let's convert to cedis. 8640. Let's convert to cedis. 8640 to cedis. 86 to the 40 pesos. 86 to the 40 pesos. So in a year, that may be the light bill you pay for using your electric iron for 4 hours. For 4 hours. It's not that expensive. But when you cumulate it to 10 years, Let us find the figure you have by 10 years. You are going to get 864 Ghana cedis in 10 years. So it means in 10 years, only your ironing, you are paying almost 1,000 Ghana cedis. Provided the unit cost is 45 and it's not changing, which you know is to change. Because the city is also, I don't know if it's increasing or decreasing in value. And all this will change. But this cost can be derailed by a 350 solar panel. A solar panel that you can use for 10 years costs 350 Ghana cedis. And looking at 864 that you want to carry, this can be done by itself. Provided you are converting all our energies into solar cells, how will the farm cost? This projector, the price, all will be derailed. And the energy is free from the sun. You came to meet the sun, you leave the sun alone. But it's only giving us this color. Not the good use that you get from it. These other applications, we know this. Calculators, we see two-way power, meaning it's also used in the solar. So maybe your calculator is not working here, you take in the sun and start working. The calculator is converting the sun's energy to use power. How much more? And the car. Now we are having solar vehicles available. So the energy from the sun is being converted to vehicles without using petrol. So fuel price can go as they want to go. Because of the sun, you drive around. And the telescope. And this is an important equipment for me, the solar cooker. One thing takes a lot of energy and a lot of either manual energy or heat energy. But with solar, I just put my panel in the sun, convert it when I start burning around. No need to waste gas. It's there. Our excuse why we are not tapping into solar, this is where I get a bit political. Forgive me. But this our excuse. We have not prioritized solar energy well as a country. We all the time talk about cost and other influences. Cost in the sense that we think it's very expensive. We are supposed to convert everything that we have to a solar panel. When was this structure used? It will not be 10 years old. What if the roof of it has solar panels? And then you convert most of the fans that they use. But just like that, there's no solar panels, and the sun hits on it, and we are suffering. The power that we use now is depleting. In Ghana, when the sun starts shining a bit, across the will get dried out, and then you start suffering from doing so. The gas that you bought that we are exploiting is depleting. They will go away. We have something called the dash syndrome, in which oil and oil and gas goes. When it's finished, where are you going to get our energy from? Solar provides us with a clean energy, in which you can use, and very cost efficient. It's never get finished. This is where I want us to channel our energy as a company, and then we get very good use of it. Other African countries have started doing it. Germany is doing it. And with even people get paid by providing the nation with solar panels that they have stored. Part of us. We have abundance of energy, sun's energy. The sun scorches us, I'm living fair now. Because of the sun scorching me. Look at how I'm sweating. Because of the sun's energy. But we are not making very good use of it. This is where I want us to go. Thank you.
The audience are going to vote now. So I'm going to give each table a paper. Discuss among yourselves who your best three presenters are. So I'll go through the presenters again. So our first presenter was Nicholas. Nicholas talked about tuberculosis and the immune system. Okay? So Nicholas, give them a wave so that they see you. So Nicholas is here. Our second presenter was Tomisi. Tomisi talked to us about investment and risks. If you don't remember anything, for Nicholas, remember tuberculosis and viruses. For Tomisi, menstrual, maybe will remind you of it. Then our third presenter was Perpetual. So Perpetual talked about differential equations, onion. If you don't remember anything, chocolate onions is differentiation. Great. Then we went to our next set of presenters. Richie talked about predicting the winner of 2019, and the winner was for Ghana. So if you like Ghana so much, then maybe you should vote for Richie. Then our next presenter was it like that? So Joseph presented about the Cecilia. Cecilia, okay. Cecilia talked about everyday maths, and she took us to look for the maths behind our laptops, the styling of your hair, to everything you can think about. So Cecilia gave them away. Then we went to Joseph. Joseph gave them away. So he talked about the hidden markup model. If you don't remember anything, remember the dance we did there. After that one, I came into the Yoruba dance and the hip hop dance. So that was Joseph. Then our final set of presenters, we had Cheryl and Salome. So you can just write Salome or Hezekiah. They talked about the dilemma of the working fees. They brought their calls and showed you some magic that they could do to get 6 wickets of wine. Then Eugene came, he demystified machine learning. So we are all living here knowing that machine learning is nothing difficult. Okay. Then our final presenter was Felix. Felix at the back, and Felix talked about the physics behind the solar cell. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to deliberate among yourself. So each table has one goal. On the paper, I would like you to write 3 names, 3 of your best presenters, then give 7 marks to your. Please, are you listening? Yes. Give 7 marks to your best presenter, 5 marks to the next, and 3 marks to the third best. Okay? 7, 5, 3. Only 3. If you have more than 3, your vote will be cancelled. No, we don't want to make false ballots here. Okay? So your best presenter gets 7 marks, your next best gets 5 marks, and the third best gets 3 marks. We'll take them shortly, we collect it, announce our winner. I know who are tired and hungry, we have our refreshment, then we do. Okay, great. So I'm giving out the. Yes, no, okay, so I'll let our presenters go out, otherwise they will try to lobby for votes. So, presenters, I don't think you will pass. Yeah, and I join that table. After that, you can join them. Please, let's give that our local actions.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ajoke and I work with the University of Glasgow. I cover West Africa. So I'm going to just speak very briefly, and then if you have any specific questions you want to ask, I'll be outside to just come in. I'm happy to answer all your questions. So Angela is obviously from, she's rounding up her PhD in Glasgow. We are very proud of her. She's one of our world changers. She's really changing the world. Thank you. Okay, so University of Glasgow, I don't know how many of you must have heard about Glasgow before. Very well, not many of us. Well, the University of Glasgow is a Scottish university. It's one of the top universities in the UK. We are also a member of the prestigious Russell Group University, which means we are a research-intense university. So loads and loads of research happening at the university. And then, of course, because we are a research-intensive university, usually there will be like a lot of funding available for research and all. The university is divided into 4 colleges. We have the College of Arts, College of Social Sciences, the College of Science and Engineering, which I imagine you guys are. And in the College of Social Science and Engineering, we have the School of Engineering, we have the School of Chemistry, Physics, Physics and Astrophysics, Computing Science, psychology as well, and maths and stats, which is also very popular, and I imagine that's your area, that's the area most of you will be interested in. And we also have the College of MVLS, that's Medical, Veterinary and Life Sciences. Seeing that you guys are mathematicians, I'm going to focus on that area. So for maths and stats, I'll basically just answer the questions I know you're interested in. So for entry requirements for our master's program, we take a look at especially the College of Science and Engineering. Now, the requirement has been raised higher. So for masters, we would need a minimum entry requirement of 2-1. And sometimes students who have a 2-2, but they have a very strong 2-2, like a CGPA of 3.0 and above, can be considered for masters, but honestly, it's mainly students with 2-1 and in first class and above. Applications are on at the moment. The applications are done online on the applicant self-service portal. So if there's any course you're interested in, basically just visit the website and click on application and apply. The application portal is also user-friendly, so you shouldn't have any issues, but if you do, you can let me know. That's for the application, and at the time of application, we will need to see your documents such as your transcript, your degree certificate, we need to see a reference letter, and then you will also need to write a personal statement. It's just a one-page essay of why you want to study that particular course. You know, after your studies, what are your future ambitions and why you want to study the course at the University of Glasgow. And if you have a CV, that's fine as well. Some courses like our MBA would require work experience, so we need to see your CV, and then your international passport as well. Just scan the data page and upload. And I'm also going to answer the most popular question, which is scholarship. That's very popular here, and I do understand. It is a lot of money to study abroad, or study at the university at Glasgow, you know. So for scholarships, we look at high quality applicants. So for example, if you want to come in to do your master's, and you're looking at internal scholarships from the University of Glasgow, we do not require a separate application for our own scholarships. So every applicant is considered, but mostly the high quality applicants, which are students with first class, and in some cases, a 2-1 will be considered. So usually they will be contacted. We have a scholarship team within admissions, and they will be the ones to get in touch with you if you are being considered for any of our scholarships. Most of the scholarships are a form of reduction of your fees, where you are able to secure between £5,000 to £10,000 of your fees. But we also have the African Excellence Fee Waiver Scholarship, which is a total reduction of your fees, total tuition free. So you are not paying your tuition fees, you just need to raise your living expenses. For this session, we have 10 places available, and then out of the 10, 2 covers some, aside the fees, there's the 2 scholarship covers stipend for your living expenses, but not the full one. So that's for the African Excellence Scholarship. Specific courses also have scholarship, like the Adam Smith Business School, they have their own scholarship. The School of Computing Science also has some scholarship. The School of Geography and Earth Sciences also has some scholarship. So there are some scholarships that, you know, are specific, are course specific. That's for University of Glasgow's own scholarship. But there are external scholarships that you can apply for. The Commonwealth Share Scholarship, which is on at the moment, there are like 7 courses that you can apply for. So if you're interested in public health, geography, some is a course under education, there's a public policy and equity, that's also under the Erasmus, the Commonwealth Share Scholarship. If you put your details with me, I can actually send the full course list. So there are 7 courses there. Unfortunately, there's none for maths, but there could be some areas that you're interested in. I think I was sharing with somebody, and I showed her one of the courses, and she was quite interested in it. I think she studied economics, so which is relevant to what she wants. So those courses are available. There's also the Erasmus funding scholarship. 1 year, but for the international masters is 2 years, and it's sponsored by the European Union. So you would use 2 years, you spend a semester in Glasgow, and then we have partner institutions across Europe. So you will do like a semester in Ukraine or in Germany, and then you complete your master's degree at Glasgow. So I'm just going to, there are 5 courses for this section, although this has closed for 2019, but it's good that you have this information so that for next year you can consider it. So the first course is Transnational Crime, Justice and Security. It's an MSc, it's a 2-year program. The other one is Central East European, Russian and Euro-Asia Studies. Then there's Global Markets, Local Creativities. The 4th one is Children's Literature, Media and Culture. And the 5th one is Security, Intelligence and Strategic Studies. This is very popular, and we've received loads of applications for it, but it's always good. There are a lot of places, and aside covering your fees, This also covers the living expenses, travel expenses, and then you get paid while doing the master. So it's very attractive, and we do get a lot of applications, but we are looking at more, because I think last year some places were not filled. So it's good that we consider the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Do we have any questions? There's those to be questions, so just ask. If it's on your mind, just say it. Any questions regarding application, or have answered all your questions? Okay.
So do you have to take any sort of like test?
Like IELTS. Well, the good thing is no. We've recently started accepting WAEC. 3 years ago, students will need to write the IELTS or Pearson test of English or TOEFL, but now we accept WAEC, so which is fine. You are not writing.
So if you say you accept WAEC, I don't get it, because if you are supposed
if you have at least a C in English language in your WASE, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's in addition to your like your first degree.
Yes.
Because I experienced something, I was told that it has to be 6 years.
Yes, yes. So that's one of the clauses. So it must be 6 years within. So if you graduated within the last 6 years, that's fine. But if you've graduated like 10 years ago, then you will need to write the IELTS.
What if you already have a master's degree, a 1-year master's? Would you still go through the 2 years master's?
That's if you are applying for any of the courses under the Erasmus Mundus funding. Yes, but most of the masters are just 1 year. Yeah, but this is an international master's degree. And that's why it's 2 years. And you're not just going to study in Glasgow, you will study at 2 other universities. So that's why it's 2 years. Yeah, but most of the masters of other universities, it's just 2 years.
So what's the minimum GPA requirement for this one?
For the Erasmus Mundus, it's a 2-1 because it's a scholarship-based program. Although students who want to fund, well, the minimum entry requirement is a 2-1. So whether you are applying for the course as a self-funded student or you want to apply for the scholarship, you need to have at least a 2-1. Yes. That's a second-class offer. Any other question? Well, if you want to see me, I'm just outside, so I will be happy to pass. Yeah.
Let's thank our friends. A final message before we announce the winner. So, as you can see, we have Glasgow and Ames here. They are the ones funding today's event. So, Glasgow gave some funding and Ames is also funded. So, we would like Sarah, our rep for Ames, to give us.
Sarah, go there.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think what we've seen today, we are sitting at the back and we are just going through what is happening. It's the beauty of science, bringing it to the layman's language. I think this is the best way we can get the other parts of the world to see what we are doing. I think we are doing it. It's so nice. But when you bring your calculus and you mention it in those huge names, it scares those of us who are not in the field away. And it doesn't make science attractive. Today we can see beautiful ladies also doing science. Hitherto, it will be a male-dominated field. And I'm happy that we are doing this. We know that we can only grow and get better. We are planning something big in October we have different activities. We want to do a bigger scale of this. How can we do? We want our sister universities, other people, to be able to stand and talk about the realities of what they are doing. Sometimes we talk in abstract ways, so we don't see the beauty of the wonderful things you're doing. But when you relate it to our world, you see that, oh, so this A and B and C and finding X is not somebody sitting where X can be me, can be A. So thank you very much for the wonderful presentations you are making. And let's improve on our presentations. Let's improve on everything we are doing. And I know the sky is only the starting point for us. Thank you.
invited somebody here. Unfortunately, she's here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Joy from Brighter Investment. Joy, let's see you. They are also into the education field. What they do is that they look at people who have the edge, who have the initiative, the drive to learn, and they provide the financial base to them. So it's more or less a scholarship in a different form. You can read about Brighter Investments when you go home. And all they do, they target from high school up to university level. And they look at what you can do, and they provide financial funding for you to realize your dreams. So we'll be working together very well. Different platforms, you will see us working together. Thank you, Joy, for coming.
Making this possible. You can have a dream, but if you don't have people supporting you, it won't come to reality. We thank them so much, and for everyone who came today. I know it's a Saturday, you could have done something else, but you took time off to come. So I mean, we are really grateful. So ECs, are you ready with both our results? Okay, can you hand them over to us so we announce our winners?
You push no support my political ambition. No political ambition. So move political ambition.
So can we have our 9 presenters or 10 presenters on stage?
I don't want to read them. I'm beginning this second.
Thank you so much, Gifty and I, for collating our votes for us. Let's start with them. Okay, so I have the results in my hand. It's very clear who the top two are, but there seems to be a tie for the third place position. So yeah, I know. Okay, the mathematicians here, the plan was to give the third place winner 200 CDs, so maybe they'll share 100 CDs. Okay, but before that, we would like to present a few items to our presenters. They really put in a lot. I remember when I was at Ames for 3 weeks tutoring, and I used to pester them every day. I'll be chasing them, presentations, come and show them to me, let's discuss it. And it was a difficult block for them. They were doing the quantum algebras and the life of a particle, but they really made time to do this. And I'm really grateful to them for this. And I have some small tokens for them. I'll present to them shortly, but maybe before then, I'll announce the winners. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. So I'll start from the third place. So jointly third for today, we have any guesses? Okay. We have Eugene and Mary. I'm not handing them the cash now so that people will go after them, give me 5 cedis, give me 10 cedis. I'm not giving them the cash now, I'll transfer them into their account. Okay. And next place, any guesses? Any guesses? Okay, Nicholas is our second place. So we have a winner. Any guesses who's the winner for today? Any guesses? Okay, so our winners for today is I want to confuse you a little, but I think people are hungry and tired, so I'll just go ahead. So Salome and Thank you. So let's give it up for them. Okay, so this house, so there's refreshment at the back.
Google practical notions.
So there's refreshment at the back, but I think we'll go in tables, otherwise everyone just... Right? Please. So there's refreshment at the back, but I think the presenters have really worked hard today, so I would like them to go out first for their refreshment. Then we go table by table.